Hey guys, it's Amanda Parks. I'm going to talk about why time is muscle is so important. We know that the heart is responsible for pumping nutrients and oxygen throughout the heart and throughout the body. The coronary arteries are what brings that supply to the heart, the oxygen that it needs. And if there, for some reason, these arteries can't supply the heart with the necessary nutrients and the necessary oxygen, that leads to muscle death. The muscle death is irreversible. So that is the reason time as muscle is so important. The quicker that we can get in and actually do an intervention, it's the least amount of heart is damaged, and the more function that a person will have. When a heart muscle is damaged, there's a lot of things that it'll cause. It can cause heart failure. It can cause, the dead muscle can cause some dysrhythmia. So the conduction of the heart is affected. Making sure that we save as much muscle as possible is really important. So, myocardial ischemia develops when there isn't enough blood flow to the heart, whether, it's blockage, arteriosclerosis, and there's a lot of pharmacology or pharmacological agents that we can use to help. There's also exercise, eating right, some other things that can help. But as far as medications go, once a person's had an MI, we all know what they're going to give. They're going to do the aspirin, the beta blockers, and blood thinners. Now, there's been a lot of new blood thinners come out lately, which I was just talking to someone at work last night about. Was part of that is that Plavix was found, part of pharmacogenetics, which we've been talking about. They found that Plavix was not effective in a number of people. So there's been a lot of other things come out, Brilinta, Xarelto, different things that we've been using where I work instead of Plavix. And we rarely ever use Coumadin anymore. That is used more in atrial fibrillation than it is in myocardial infarction. During a myocardial infarction, of course, they're going to use heparin and other blood thinners. They do give like a loading dose of Plavix, because they're trying to get into that vessel and save muscle. So time as muscle is very important, because when that muscle dies, you can't regain it. You can't get it back. You can't fix it. You can give the heart rest with beta blockers and other medicines, but you can't ever regain the muscle that has died. When there is dead heart muscle, there's numerous problems that causes, heart failure, conduction issues, because it can't conduct the same through dead tissue. So the quicker we can get in and intervene and save muscle, the better their outcomes are going to be, long-term outcomes. And anyways, that's why time as muscle is so important. Let's see, a couple other things really quick. So anyways, the pathophysiology of the MI is when, the blood is not restored within 20 minutes. So when I read that in the notes, 20 minutes. The goal for most hospitals is 90 minutes to intervention. So I'm thinking, gosh, 90 minutes, that's 70 whole minutes. I think they're moving at 90 to 60 minutes. But from door to intervention, so getting better. But that 20 minutes, once the blood flow is not restored in 20 minutes, then that's when you have irreversible cell damage and loss of cardiac function. So time as muscle is very important, because there are irreversible things that cannot be fixed. And that's my answer. So thanks. I look forward to listening and viewing all of you guys' responses, and thank you.